So this is the standing magic circle. There are so many things we can do with the magic circle. We can incorporate the magic circle into the entire mat routine. But for this, we're just gonna use it in our standing posture. And we're gonna start with our legs together in parallel, zipping the inner thighs to feel the midline and holding the circle in front of our hips. You're gonna give the circle a squeeze and feel your chest muscles, your powerhouse, and the back of your body. Now, that's a lot to ask, but imagine instead of just using your arms, you're using the circle to connect to your powerhouse. So you're gonna give it a squeeze, draw the stomach in and up, and see if you can make your waist a little longer. Release. Squeeze, pulling in and up, and release. Squeeze, pull in and up, and release. One more time. Squeeze, shoulders draw back, and release. Hold it right out in front of your chest. Sometimes when we bring it out in front of us, our body will want to lean back. Put a little weight into the balls of the feet and lift your stomach as you give it a squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze, stomach in, release. Squeeze and release. Reach it all the way up and squeeze. Now we're really using our chest muscles. Squeeze and release. Feel how it lifts your whole front of your body. And one more time. And release. Now take a circle on your right hip, slightly in front of your shoulder, and then your elbow is soft. Have a soft bend to it. As you squeeze the circle, you're gonna use the front and the back of your armpit as you lift the right side of your body. Release. Squeeze and release. Learning to use the underside of our arm rather than always relying on the top. And release. And one more time. And release. Take it off to the left side. Again, soft elbow, shoulder in the joint. Sometimes you can look at it and see, oh, is that shoulder trying to jet forward? You want it to be right out of the shoulder joint. Give it a little squeeze. Notice if you're using the front and the back, lift your left side and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. One more time. Squeeze and release. Take the circle behind your back. This one's the hard one. When we bring our arms back, oftentimes it'll make us want to arch our back. So see if you can stretch your shoulders as you keep your powerhouse knit together. Then we give it a little squeeze. It may not go very far. And release. Squeeze, you're just feeling the back of your armpits. Squeeze and release, and squeeze and release. Now you're gonna take that circle in between your ankles. And we're gonna challenge our balance and practice engaging the midline of our body. As we squeeze the circle together, we're looking to feel that energetic squeeze come from the inner thighs, not so much the knees coming together. It's really passing the knees and coming up into the inner thighs, the pelvic floor, and the low belly. So we're drawing all of that in and up. So helpful if you've had a baby or you've had any abdominal surgeries, just waking that up. Now, can you keep that engagement as your hands come to your hips and you rise up on all 10 toes? Sometimes the circle will try to open your heels. So you're squeezing together and lower down gently. Rising up, just noticing, are you putting weight on your big toe as well as your pinky toe? All the toes have equal weight. And lower down. And rising up, feeling the calf muscles and the hamstrings and the bottom are pulling your heels up. The inner thighs stay alive. And you lower down. One more time. Rising up and lowering down. Now shift your weight to your right foot and squeeze the circle with your left foot. And release. Practice standing on the right leg. And release. Squeeze and release. Now we're gonna pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. draw a little taller up through the crown and set that foot down. Now we come on to the left foot and we practice lifting up through that side of the body as that right hip works to be a little level. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze the inner thighs, release and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold. Lower the right foot. Now this part takes core engagement. So see if you can keep the inner thighs and pelvic floor pulling up as you bring your left leg around to the front. Crossing the inner thighs, pull the left leg towards the right leg and release. Feel the back of your left leg working. And release. One more time. Squeeze. Good. Bringing that bring your body onto your left foot now. Lift your right foot behind you and pull the front of your right leg in towards your left leg. Release. Not too much though, otherwise that circle is going to go flying. And release. One more time. Pulling in and up. And let the right foot come down. Good. Keep your inner thighs and pelvic floor engaged as you bring that leg around to the left. You gotta keep the squeeze on the circle. Then you bring your right foot around in front of your left. Ooh. And then you're gonna squeeze, pulling the back of the right leg into the left leg. And squeeze. Now shift. If it falls out, you just bend over and reset your circle. And you squeeze. Sometimes too, I'll be a little bit off the pad, and that's okay too. You're just working for the ability to keep the legs engaged. Now you shift back onto your left foot and you bring the right leg back around and you round down to grab your circle and you put your circle in between your inner thighs. So whenever we're putting the circle on our legs, we have knee joints and we have ankle joints, the little bones inside the ankle. We just want to be above the joints, not right on the joints, more in the muscle. And you have parallel knees, feet, and hips, and you're standing up nice and tall. Now you're really going to feel your inner thighs. Bend your knees, hinging at the hips, and stand back up. See if you can keep that circle engaged. Bend your knees and come back up. One more time, keeping the chest a little lifted and come back up. Good, now you're shifting onto your right foot and you're gonna squeeze the circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, come onto the left leg and squeeze the circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down onto both feet, bending the knees. This time, instead of bowing forward, see if your V can point straight down, like you're right up against a wall and a nice tall spine. Bending the knees, you should feel a little stretch in your calves and ankles. Lift your heels, straighten your legs, lower your heels, bend your knees, lift your heels, stretch your legs, lower your heels. One more time, bend, lift, straighten, lower, reverse, up. You'll notice you have to feel a lot of engagement to keep the body in alignment. Hips, knees, and ankles like railroad tracks. Lift the heels, bend the knees, lower the heels, straighten the legs. One more time. The V is just pointing straight down. Lower the heels, straighten the legs. Now we're going to take the circle out and we're going to step inside of the circle. So now our knees are turned out and the circle is up on our thighs. Our feet and knees are turned out. And now we're pressing out on the circle and straightening the legs. And pressing out on the circle and straightening the legs. And one more time, just a little bend. Now come into parallel, same idea, and you're gonna bend your knees and let your knees really go wide. You're feeling the outer hips and the outer thighs as you're lifting your powerhouse. Sometimes that'll make you want to spill out to the outsides of your feet. So see if you can keep your big toes grounded. You're really moving that tension more with your hips. Straighten the legs, bend the knees. Straighten your legs. One more time, bend your knees. Bow forward from the hips. The V points back. Lift your heels. Lower your heels. Lift your heels. Nice wide legs. One more time, lift your heels. Lower your heels. Stand up straight. Take the circle. Good. Now you're gonna take the magic circle. This takes a little balance, and put your foot inside of the circle and stretch that leg. See if you can stand nice and tall. Your V points down, your stomach pulls in, you're reaching through your heel, you're just getting a big stretch like the tree. Bend the knee, extend the leg. Bend the knee, extend the leg. One more time, extend the leg and set it down. Other side, lifting tall on the right leg now. Extend the left leg. Good. Let's take a moment to feel your balance. It's always easier for me to balance on one side than another. Also, so you'll see I kind of want to lean back. So see if you can be right on top of your right leg as you reach through your heel, stretching the left leg. Bend the knee, stretch the leg, bend the knee, stretch the leg. One more time, stretch the leg and set it down. Good. Taking your feet wider than your hips now, reach the circle up over your head. Feel both legs grounding and your V stay right in the middle of your feet. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch both sides of the body over to the right. You're reaching your head through the circle. Inhale, center. Exhale, lifting your arms, your head, your waist up and over to where the wall meets the ceiling. Come back up. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Inhale, stretching. And exhale. One more time. Inhale, lifting. And over. One more time. Stretch your sides. And come up. And now reach over to the right and circle all the way down and around. Come up on the left and reach over on the left, down and around. Come up on the right. Draw your legs together, grab the circle behind your back and reach it towards the floor as you lift your chest. And come back through the middle and feel the grounding center of your body. Thank you.